Welcome back to the shooting channel. Today we're going to do a film on how to get into trap shooting on a budget. A lot of people, they see shooting, they see sport, they see the different disciplines, they see sporting, they see fitters, they see DTL, they see Olympic trap. But not everyone wants to pile a load of money into it. And they see all these trap guns and skeet guns for sort of 2, 3, 4, 5,000, 8,000 pounds. If you want to try trap shooting or DTL or something like that, you can do it on a budget where you can spend £500 on the trap gun and you can go out and enjoy it. I have got here a Recoil 3800 trap. It's an old gun. They have made hundreds of these, but you can pick one of these up for £499. So it's not necessarily going to take you to the Olympic Games, but it will give you a good start on getting into trap shooting and starting on something like DTL. Here at Oxford, we've got a DTL layout, and you can come down and you can buy yourself an inexpensive trap gun and get yourself started on the road to trap. If you enjoy trap shooting, then you can decide in a year, 18 months after that, I really want to do this and I want to spend a bit more money on a trap gun. So this trap gun is 3/4 and full, which is what most trap guns are. It's got a recoil pad on it. Every trap gun, they're quite heavy, they're high in the comb. This has got a Monte Carlo stock on it. Now, Monte Carlo stock means it goes up there, comes down and down there. So it's very high there. A trap gun tends to have a much wider, like a beaver tail forend, so it's thick there. So when you hold it, you can hold it because you only move a trap gun a little bit. So the whole idea is to stop you flicking it around and make the gun slightly heavier. And that is really the basics of a trap gun. And the whole idea, if you go out and you pick one of these up for under £500, you come down to the DTL layout and you can come and practice it. You can start the gun there and you just have a little play, have a bit of fun with a budget gun on around a DTL. And that is really what I'm going to show you in this film. So I have done some DTL films in this program, but now we're just going to go with my budget gun and I'm just going to shoot around a DTL or a few stands on DTL just to show you that shooting with a trap gun, with a cheap trap gun, can still get you started in the road to DTL or the road to trap shooting. Pull. 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 So the only thing that I potentially would do is a lot of trap guns, they can be, when I shoot trap, I like to have a slightly longer stock to what I do in the sporting layout. But you can always get a pad or you can extend it. So for a few £100 or for under £150, you can take that off and extend it. Again, I would go to your shooting school, have a lesson, and get it done professionally though first. I like to have a slightly longer stock because when you shoot trap, you mount the gun there, you mount the gun high there, and your head is there. And the whole idea why you mount it there is you come down and it locks it into that pocket into your shoulder. And if you look at this one, I like to put my head there. So I would like to have that. This is about 14 3/4. I'd like to have that sort of 15 inches, 15.5 inches, just so when I mount my gun, my head is there and I come down like that. It just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable having a slightly longer stock. But if you're only spending 450, 500 pounds, you can play with a trap gun like this just to get it comfortable for you. And then once you're really comfortable, then you can move that stock dimensions into something more expensive, or you can go down the MK38, the expensive Maruku trap gun, the expensive Parazzi trap gun to get it right. So you start off with something like this and then you move on up. So the weight of it is right. Again, this is 30 inch. Some people like 32 inch. When you're first started, my suggestion would be to get yourself a trap gun like this. Maybe lengthen it a little bit, but I would suggest 30 inch to start with. Some people do like 30 inch, some people don't. So I would suggest start with a 30 inch. If you like 32 inch, then progress when you move to your next one, when you move on there. Let's move on, let's shoot another stand. So again, I'm shooting my nice Fiocchi Russians, thanks to Fiocchi's. A really nice smooth cartridge. Even if you go down the route of buying yourself a starter budget trap gun, make sure you get a half decent cartridge, because it will take that recoil out. And even on some of the cheaper guns, they don't necessarily have all the barrel weights and the stock weights to take that recoil out of the gun. So get yourself a little soft cartridge, spend a little bit more money on the cartridges, and your budget gun goes a lot further. Pull. 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 And don't forget, if you do want to start trap shooting, you sit and you watch this and you think, oh, I really want to give that a go. Don't go and throw yourself in the deep end and go on to OT, UT, even ABT. Start on something basic like DTL first, see if you enjoy that, then progress up. DTL is made a bit like the Schools Challenge. It's one of the easiest disciplines to shoot. It's the hardest to win because you've got to shoot everything. You've got to shoot all of them. You've got to walk in and shoot 25 straight. But at least it kicks you off. It gets you a bit of a buzz to start with. If you go and throw yourself into the hard Olympic disciplines before you've started the basics, you'll just dump yourself in the deep end. So find yourself a ground with a DTL layout, or a couple of DTL layouts, or one or two. Go and have it go and give it a go. There's plenty. Most of the big shooting schools have got instructors that will specialise in DTL. So even book yourself a lesson. Go and book yourself a lesson on the DTL range, and they will help you. They will help you with it. And set yourself a budget on what you want to spend on a trap gun. As I said, £500. Under £500, you can pick one up. Pull. 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 And don't forget that a trap gun is generally heavier than what a sporter is, so that weight does tend to take the recoil out of the trap gun. So don't be afraid, and don't think, oh well, it hasn't got a proper recoil pad on it, or it hasn't got this. You can always expand things like that. You can always add things like that to it. Start small and grow up a bit with it and get into it like that. Pull. pull, 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 so there we go, ran a DTL with a budget trap gun. Shot 23 on that. If you start on DTL, you go out there, you can get a budget gun and you will come off and you'll shoot 20 plus on a DTL range. Start like that first, then move up. Marukus have been around for a long time. They are great value for money guns. They're bulletproof. I would recommend servicing one once a year, but you don't even have to service it. They just keep on going. So any decent shooting school will have trap guns like this kicking about for sale. They'll have a DTL range. Ask your shooting school, go down, treat yourself to one lesson. After one lesson of shooting DTL, then you can go and practice and you'll shoot 20 plus on it. It's quite an easy discipline to get into it and break clays. So that was a round of clays or a round of DTL with a budget trap gun for under £500. Don't think you've got to spend a fortune to get into something like DTL. So you've shot a bit of sport and you just fancy having a go at DTL, but you don't want to spend a great deal of money on it. Most decent shooting schools will have an instructor and have some second-hand trap guns like this kicking about for under £500. Give them a call, book a lesson and go and say, I fancy having a go but I don't want to spend a lot of money on it, and go and ask them. There's plenty out there. Please comment below on anything you've seen in this film. Please like and subscribe and we'll see you next week.